Shalom Shalum Mashpaka. Sundown, 9th day of the 7th month, which means it's Yom Kapar, which means it's day of atonement, anah, to bow down, humbling yourself. So this is our humble abode. See my trashed shed door over there I gotta try to replace, but not tonight. We're gonna make a fire here and gonna try to get some coals going, roast some meat unto Yahuwah. It's important to note that some people think that they're supposed to fast because they follow the traditions of the Jews. But Yahuwah would not tell you to make an offering by fire at the same time that you fast. That's foolishness. Stay tuned. Baruk Atah family. So it's actually the 10th day. And the train in the background. Sun's back there somewhere going down. We don't have a lot of time left. We are roasting meat, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. Today we're having chicken. Last night we had steak. It was amazing. Amazing. Baruk Yahuah. I'll show you our little fire going. Not much to it. But I'm trying to get the flames to go down a bit so that when I add our skillet, it won't burn too much. And so gonna actually blow the shofar. It's a shofar, not a shofar. The ram's horn. I'm just waiting for the family to come out. So this is basically what you're looking at. It's not one of those big, long, twisty horns, which is a what's that other big, long horn they go to, honey? Like a antelope's horn. An antelope is not a ram, just so you know. So U-ball, the shofar, U-ball. Just like they say jubilees, it's not jubilees, it's Yubaleen. And so, yeah, Baruk Yahuah. Gonna sound the shofar. We give all thanks, praise, and esteem to Yahuwah. In his Qadashayam of Yasharal, Yahusha HaMashiach. Oh boy, let me see that sun. It just come out, like, I don't know, from behind something. My phone was taking screenshots while I was trying to switch. That's pretty bright right there. I don't know if that's showing up. Look what they do to the sky. Abba, rebuke them. All that they do. Alright, Baruk Atah Yahuah. That was weird. It's like alright, so we're gonna get the meat on the fire and eat with our fingers. My baby found some information about eating with don't kick up that dust. Eating with the fingers is more healthy because of what, babe? Stimulates your brain to start digestion. You know, it's kind of funny how they gave us all those utensils. Whose idea was that anyway? Shalom. Uitaha Baruk Yahuah. Hallelujah. Rumamu Yahuah. Hallelujah. Rumamu Yahuah. Tiger, did they go for a walk without you, buddy? Did they go without you, bud? I got you. Let's unhook you right there. And go for a walk. Go get him. Go get Mama. It's over there. Tiger. Go get Mama. Go. Hey, call Tiger. Call him. Go get him, boy. Go get him. I don't know what the heck. He's like, man, they're far. I don't want to go all the way down there. Go get Aiden. Get him. Go. Come on. Go get him. Go. Get him. He didn't even feel like going. Ain't that crazy? So, I've been trying to tell y'all for a while, right? Like an offering made by fire, and the feasts, and the altars, and the Qadash meats is how we esteem Yahuwah's Moedims, his appointed times and feasts. The tradition of the Jews is a lie right now that says that you're supposed to fast. You ain't supposed to fast. That's not the afflicting. Afflicting of yourself is the Abrit word anah. It sounds a lot like amunah. Anah is to prostrate yourself, to humble yourself, and it says your soul. Your entire, not just something you do in your flesh, but in your ruach, that you submit yourself beneath the supremacy, the eternality of Yahuwah, the gift of the sacrifice of the Son, Yahusha. You'll notice that the wicked try to twist, pervert, mock, and scoff everything. That's why they have child ritual sacrifice. Is to make it look unclean and unwell. I didn't want him to have to say, Tiger, come here 50 times in a row, nonstop. It's very distracting. Hang on. Alright. What I was trying to say. It's not Zoom. Zoom is the Abrit word for abstaining from food. There are a lot of different things that we can fast from. You can fast from Facebook. And think about whatever you're giving time, attention, adoration to, and if it has any kind of stronghold over you, especially if it's unclean. And fast from it. Fasting from the thing is also a way to draw nearer to the Most High and say, I don't need this thing or that thing, I need you. All I need is you. And, refresh my thinking so that I'm not obsessing about this thing. Like, I want to be thinking of you more. And you can use the Zoom as like a type of exercise for Amunah. Okay? Anah is putting yourself in the proper position with the Most High. Do not be proud in your flesh. This is why I say, this is not why, one of the reasons why I say all these camps that talk, blacks or whites are Yashar'Al, or some of them still say Israel, or they even say Hebrew, which is not the word. Hebrew, like I said, 17th, 18th century Latin word. In the scriptures, you'll see that the people are described as Abrim. This is a crossed over peoples, a placed apart peoples, which is going to be similar root letters to Abraham, Abram, who became Abraham. So, Natzarim, watchmen, branches, grafted in, lost tribesmen, okay, because when they say to bring the Basurah to every nation, tribe, and tongue, thus the lost sheep of Yashar'Al scattered and displaced throughout all the earth. But yes, Yom Kapar, Day of Atonement, be in remembrance of Yahusha's blood that was shed for us, for the transgression, for our chata, for our crimes. Try not to say sin because it is for a mighty one, a moon deity. Okay, it's unclean. It's paganism inserted into our Bibles, Babbles, inserted into our scriptures. Okay, and trying to make you continue to break commands such as you shall not have the names of foreign mighty ones upon your lips. And when they fill the word with those names, it forces us to speak them all the time. When I was in Christianity, when I was preaching the gospel, which is God's spell, which is a message of lawlessness and idolatry, really, I had no idea. Man, I had all the unclean words coming off my lips, and I still struggle with them now, even though I know better. And I strive to do better. I still have some issues, that I struggle with. But that's what this is. That's what this humbling is, this lowliness of spirit, this ana, okay? This is how it is to afflict. They use the word afflict, and that probably is part of what causes the confusion. So if you look at it now and say, bow down your soul, you see it a lot differently, I would think. You should see it a lot differently. Plus, you think Yahuwah is going to tell you to have an offering made by fire as a commandment for the feast, that then he's also telling you to abstain from eating food? That's silly, okay? And that's not how Yahuwah operates. He is not the author of confusion. He didn't spend all that time teaching us what foods are clean and unclean, establishing the Levitical priesthood, showing how the priests partake of the food offerings. The food offerings, Shalum offerings, Hata offerings, also some that are just commanded for feasts like Pesach. Okay? I had to block somebody on Facebook because he was saying there are all types of witchcraft out here and eating flesh is one of them. Okay, you're literally saying that the Most High gave commandments to people to eat food, meat. Clean meat is food. Clean meat is food, right? And so you're saying that he commanded them to witchcraft? Witchcraft is lawlessness and disobedience. Coming up during Saku, we make an offering by fire unto Yahuwah every single day of the feast. So if you don't partake of food that is clean for you, that is meat for you, how are you keeping those instructions? Exactly. How are you doing that? Because if you're not guarding commandments and instructions, then that's what witchcraft literally is. So it's the opposite of what he was saying. I had to block him. Baruk Atah. Alright, so I wanted to share that, and I do pull that helps. Like I said, we're roasting our meat, and we're trying to do it here as the day becomes cool, because it is an offering made by fire in this day. We did it last night as well, but that's not completing the instruction. That's just us choosing to say, like Mayashah said, you can't worship Yahuwah too much. You can't, like the Shupar. You're commanded to blow the Shupar on certain feast days and certain Moedims, but you can't really blow it too much. So I blow it on every Shabbat that I am in remembrance to, and every single day would be okay. It's actually also exercising Amunah in cleansing your camp from wicked Ruach Ha'Qadash. Cleansing your camp also includes getting rid of every accursed thing, right? So sometimes for a lot of us, that's Hollywood movies, music CDs that come from the music industry, where they make sacrifice over the master copy. So a lot of this stuff I've talked about before at length. Hi, baby.
Hey.
Baruk Yahuah. Oh, like for everybody, it's gonna be a little different, right? I used to look at that and be like, oh, it's burnt and stuff. It's pretty amazing how Abba packs all the flavor in there. I just receive it with thanks, with praise. It ends up being some of the most delicious, juicy meat. Our steak last night was incredible. It just had a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and even though it was like kind of charry, we just really found it to be delicious. So, Hallelujah Yahuwah, as the sun goes down, the feast is coming to an end. We're looking forward to Saku.
Saku.
And also the new moon day, which will be the beginning of autumn, is almost upon us as well. So, yeah, we have a couple days of regular servile work, and then we'll have a Shabbat, and then it'll be the first day of Saku, and you have no servile work on the first day and the 8th day. So, Baruk Yahuwah. Shalom, shalom. Okay, Hallelujah Yahuwah. Shalom family, so we are back inside, and I just wanted to share something that we do on Yom Kapar. Not saying that this is required or anything like that. Just sharing a practice that we have in my house, and like my Yalpa Asha was saying. She's over there with a smile on her face. She's so cute. Anyway, she was saying that how in years past we wrote down some confessions on paper of like confessing some either unrepentant, well, I don't know if it's right to call them unrepentant crimes or just ongoing. Yeah, right. Like, for example, I confessed outbursts of anger, not being in complete control of my emotions. This is really something that I struggle with, and that to acknowledge, to ask them to forgive me, to ask Yahuwah to forgive me, and to commit to working hard to do better with that. So, in years past, we wrote it down on paper, then we shared it with each other, and then we put it into the fire and gave it to Yahuwah. Well, we didn't write it down this year, but we spoke it out loud before one another, before the Malakim, before Yahuah and Shemayim. And so it's something that I would encourage you to do with your tribe, with your house, on this Moedim. And now we're going to just spend time together inside. And you know, we really need to look to an understanding of who our atoning sacrifice is. There is no atonement for your crimes with the blood of bulls and goats. Okay, those things, I think, serve the purpose to help us understand the significance of it. That even with those sacrifices, it was being reinstituted every year and over and throughout the year for different types of crimes. That in Yahusha it is finished once and for all, because he's infinitely valuable as a sacrifice, because he's the Ancient of Days. He's the everlasting Abba. He's the Aleph and the Taub, the beginning and the end. Okay, the creator and sustainer of all things. And so think about that when you're trying to think about the significance of Yahusha, because he's not just a creature. Okay, he always existed. The thing about being begotten is more in line with entering into his creation as a man, tempted in all ways as we are. He already had been entering into his creation and interacting with his creation and different angels of Yahuah. If you pay close enough attention, you're going to see that they're doing things that only Yahuah can do, should do, or would do. Yahusha kept Pesach and all other feasts perfectly his entire life because he never had any crime. None. So I mentioned earlier that I had to block somebody who said that it was witchcraft to eat flesh. Okay? Think about that, what they're saying. Yahusha does not practice witchcraft. That's just the highest level of blasphemy, right? In fact, it's an unforgivable crime to associate the works of evil with the Ruach of Yahuah. Okay? Yahusha HaMashiach, the Ruach of Yahuah, entered into flesh. Bia in, is it okay to say immaculate? Is that an okay word to say, babe? Immaculate? I don't know if that sounds like a Roman miraculous, a miracle birth, yeah. Right? That understanding of who the Father is, because Miriam was a virgin. Sorry about that. I lost my train of thought, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter. I think I pretty much already covered it. Anyway. Yahusha is our high priest. He is our Pesach. He is our all in all. Would you ever have any problem with saying Yahuah is your all in all? Because I dang sure won't. I dang sure won't. And I don't want to give any esteem that's due his name to another. So, anyways, Shalom. Shalom, Baruk Atah Yahuah.